Hi again, everyone. This is Thais. So I want to clarify a few things from the last video that I did, vegan versus carnivore. And I want to make a few things clear and burst through a few more falsehoods, specifically about meat, but also about the plant-based and the vegan diet. So first, I spoke about male chicks being killed as false for the egg industry in the previous video. And I wish to clarify that this did happen in the past, and it still continues in some parts of America. But it has been made an illegal practice and it is being phased out of the industry. To make it even more clear, I only speak about clean eating. This means I'm only referring to organic farms who use and practice free-range, grass-fed kind of organic practices and humane practices. So farmer-owned egg farms and free-range grass-fed farms are what I was referring to and talking about in the last video. Really get to know what farms or farmers are in your local area. And that's where I recommend that you get your eggs and your clean meats from. I do not support factory farming and mass monoculture due to cruelty and massive environmental damage, among other things. Second, a huge campaign and false belief system has been built around meat being inflammatory, heart disease promoting, devoid of nutrients, and generally, quote unquote, causes humans to be fat. Meats and eggs are not inflammatory, and they cannot be. They are alkaline, especially meat, due to the fact that meat contains blood. Blood in all mammals is alkaline because its pH is naturally in the alkaline range. Raw milk, whether cow milk or goat milk, are also alkaline. Regarding saturated fats, now healthy saturated fats are very good for the body and they are high in meats and eggs because contrary to what we have been pummeled with in recent years, saturated fats are not bad. Without them, the body will get very ill and die. Saturated fats support the structure of the cells in the body, and they create a barrier to keep toxins out of the cell. They actually help to shield the cells from damage by toxins, resulting in things like preventing cancer and preventing diabetes. What causes fat is sugar, especially around the midsection of the body. This is because the body is holding the sugar as reserved fat because it is not getting enough fats. This is why people who try the keto diet lose so much weight. They're getting a large amount of fats in that diet. So the body doesn't have to hold on to the fat out of fear of not getting enough. However, the keto diet was designed for people with epilepsy, and that was done so that the brain would use the ketones from the fats to stop the epileptic attack instead of sugar. It is meant to be a short-term program, hence it is not really known whether it is sustainable or a sustainable diet for regular people long-term. The body needs to be in balance. Third, meat is neither devoid of nutrients, nor does it cause or promote heart disease. First, look to see who did these studies and who is funding them. Please look into that for yourself. Lots of information is available on the National Institute of Health, PubMed, CDC, Science Direct, and others. But observe for yourself which industry has exploded in leaps and bounds in the last 20 to 30 years. And there is your clue. So here's what is actually in eggs and meat and naturally bioavailable to the human body. High levels of omega-3, I didn't even know omega-3 was in meat. Selenium, B12, it's high in vitamin A and E, zinc, niacin, B6, iron, copper, potassium, magnesium, riboflavin, conjugated linoleic acid, called CLA for short, which prevents diseases like diabetes and obesity. And CLA has been shown to have anti-carcinogenic effects on the body. Meat is high in antioxidants and it has the 9 essential amino acids. Meat is complete nutrition. As for meat rotting in the colon, it cannot. It has been shown that it is completely digested and metabolized by the body before it reaches the colon. What does putrefy in the colon is the fibers and undigested cellulose from plants, legumes, beans. The human body does not naturally have the enzyme cellulase. So some plant cellulose do not break down in the human body. It becomes the waste product in the colon because it is undigested. So let's get a little deeper. A very big claim is that vegans are healthier than meat eaters. I believed this for a long time, and I never questioned or investigated it until now. So where did this claim come from? The test subjects in these studies were evangelical vegans who did not smoke, drink alcohol, sodas, coffee, or ate any processed foods versus subjects who ate the standard American diet of fast food, burgers, processed foods, and highly processed sugars and grains. It was not done with subjects who ate clean meats, no unprocessed foods, and no processed sugars. Of course, the results would show that particular outcome. This was to push seed oils, a sugar diet, and patented lab-made plant proteins like veggie burgers and soy sausages. So what was the easiest way to do this? Feed fear of heart disease and cancer and pummel our emotional centers with guilt of killing animals. It worked perfectly, especially after celebrities were thrown in the mix to promote a plant-based vegan diet. The vegan diet is high in sugar, high carbohydrates diet, where much of the food is undigested. You may ask, how is this possible? Fruits are first and foremost fructose. Vegetables are carbohydrates. Vegans are also heavily dependent on nuts, legumes, and breads, which are carbohydrates, i.e. sugar, 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 sugar. That's 5. Because all carbs convert to sugar in the body. Why did the juicing phenomenon explode in the way that it did? People are drinking huge cups or mason jars of liquid sugar daily. Sometimes 5 or 6 fruits in one of these juices, which some often use as a meal replacement. Believe me, I also did that for a long time. Sugar feeds the bad gut bacteria and cancer cells, as well as parasites in the body. And it shifts the body into an inflamed state. After 5 years of being vegan, I was very thin and very weak, and I didn't even realize it. The turning point came one day when my aunt said to me, "You look so thin, and you're so thin and you look very sick." That became an alarm warning for me. The turnaround actually came when I was being horribly attacked by entities, and I started doing energy healing sessions, as I spoke about in previous videos. In one session, my energy healer friend asked me if I ate meat, and I said no, I was vegan. He said, that explains it. As was explained to me, my energy body was so weak, I was wide open for entity attacks, which is exactly what I was experiencing. I later learned that veganism is an entity race agenda to make both our body and conscious awareness remain in a weakened or lowered state so that we were easier to attack and mentally manipulate and not even be aware of it. My friend said to me, just try some eggs if you can't eat the meat. Otherwise, you might not survive the attacks. You need vital nutrition. I was shocked to hear him say that. So he said, if you eat that, you will see your energy get stronger and your real conscious intelligence will increase. It took weeks for him to convince me to eat some eggs. But exactly as he said is exactly what I have experienced since I returned to eating animal protein in the last 2 years. Both my body and energy got stronger, and it was like fog was lifted from my brain. Sorry, baby. And my intelligence and awareness expanded. Believe it or not, everything here is designed to weaken and take your soul energy and weaken your conscious awareness. So what do I eat? I eat a balance of the plant kingdom and the animal kingdom. I still love smoothies and make them, but I make sure fats like avocado and coconut cream and the plants are mixed and blended well when I do make them. I also try to eat very little high oxalate plants like kale and spinach. I do not consume pork for the simple reason that I don't like it. And a pig eats everything in its path. So it is ridden with parasite worms and sometimes even parasite egg sacs. I do not eat shellfish. I have bad allergic reactions. And I limit fruits to 2, maximum 3 per day. Although sometimes I really just have to have mangoes. I love chia seed coconut kefir pudding with berries or papaya with the seeds because the seeds kill parasites. They're a little spicy, so not too many. I don't consume oats, so the chia pudding is a healthier choice. I eat a lot of full-fat coconut cream, especially when I make chicken lentil curry or matcha latte or a smoothie. I'm not a fan of cheese. It is inflammatory, so I only eat that soft buffalo mozzarella made fresh that's suspended in the water, and I choose that over other cheeses. I eat ground turkey, ground bison if I'm able to buy it because it's very expensive. And I cook it with real Japanese tofu because North American tofu is genetically modified. That is a Japanese dish called mapo, M-A-P-O, mapo tofu. I love kimchi and miso soup and sweet potatoes. I eat goat meat on occasion. It's called mutton in India and in the Caribbean. And it's something I already ate and my body is already familiar with from childhood because my grandfather raised goats. I eat fish, seaweeds, and a lot of herbs and herbal teas. I only eat 2 meals a day between 9 and 6 p.m. because I do intermittent fasting. And during the times where I'm fasting, I just drink water or herbal teas. I do my best, really, but I definitely refrain from eating breads and grain foods like oats and pasta and rice. The only supplement I take regularly is vitamin D3 because people of color are often very deficient in it due to the melanin, the higher melanin in the skin. It's less easily absorbed. And I also take MSM powder and humic and fulvic acid in my smoothies. So to conclude, the plant kingdom is massively attacked for food, housing. Everything we use comes from a plant, even makeup and plastic, far more than any animal kingdom. Even gasoline in cars is really broken down plant matter. And though we have been programmed to not know this by design, the plant kingdom is far more conscious and intelligent than animals here. Because plants, trees, all of those, they live and operate in energy. They sustain the energy of the planet. This is why I work with them as healers, as a herbalist. I ask their permission and healing assistance when I am cutting any part of their limb around the yard for tea or basil for something. And I thank them. I also do that with any meat I may consume. I do a revision prayer and I go back and I thank the energy of the animal, because the animals here that are raised for food, they are only energy and flesh. They do not have a soul. Yes, they do feel pain because they have nerves in their body just like we do. But plants also feel pain and anxiety. The programmed nature of this matrix earth plane is consumption. Every animal eats another animal. The same fish vegans reject is the same school of fish a huge whale or a dolphin consumes in one bite. The same dog and cat we have as pets love to eat meat because that is their proper diet. The same chicken or eggs we don't eat, a snake or a mongoose relishes it, and so on and so on and so on. And a big no, we are not descendants of apes. So we are not herbivores. We do not have the same stomach and digestive process or system as an ape. We do not have long, sharp canine teeth for hunting because we have hands and arms and we walk upright and can run on two legs. And the knowledge to make fire and weapons even out of stone. Neither do we have the same digestive process and stomachs as elephants or rhinos. They are built that way with strength and power to survive being a prey in the wild. And I have still seen a lion taking down an elephant and a giraffe. Plants have nothing to do with it. What builds the body of a bovine is the colostrum from the cow's milk, its mother's milk, just as with human mother's breast milk designed for her child. The focus, therefore, is on building your soul energy to leave this kind of consumption planet matrix and go to one where you don't need food at all. But while we remain here, we use what is available to us as energetic food to build our energy body. That does not make us cruel, heartless, or evil. Then everyone would be cruel the minute they took a bite of an apple, because that is the protected seed of the apple tree, its babies, to disperse and grow new trees. The flowers we cut and we give it to a beloved or buy it from a flower shop, these are protected seeds of the plant that opens its petals when it's ready and disperse in order to grow new plants in nature. And I talked about this in my book. The gel-like substance around the chia seeds that we consume that causes them to swell and become like pudding when we put them in water or milk or any liquid. This is closest to amniotic fluid in the human mother. That gel is the protective sac around each seed by the chia plant. Isn't that amazing? I think our consciousness and perspective need to be wide open and in a state of expansion, especially at this time. See you in the next video. Take care.